All right, time to go steal this treasure thing. Let's make a dash for it.
Okay, finally! Oh yeah, you'd have no idea. I was holding down the R2 button pretty much constantly in the overworld at this point, and it doesn't do anything until now. But yes, you can run now. I've already kind of gone over dashing in Ryuji's Confidant bio, but it's how you activate his rank 7 ability, which we don't have yet. And also, I just realized that all of his abilities are centered around dashing, which makes perfect sense, given he's a track member. Why did I not realize that before? So yeah, more easily spotted, but if you get Ryuji to rank 4 and unlock Stealth Dash, it's a little bit quieter. So, yep, here we go. This is running around at the speed of sound. I'm allowed to say that because Atlas is now owned by Sega. I'm still surprised there hasn't been an official Sonic crossover with Persona at this point. But yeah, this is the return point. If we go through here, we go back to the real world and waste the day, so let's not do that.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to leave at this point anyway. But actually, the only, like, indication you get there is the options thing appearing, but you can save here. The entrance to a palace counts as a safe room. It's important to know that. Our first real heist begins. Let's do this. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Still don't know about this. Those guards are pretty stupid, as usual. But, as you can see by the map, they've gathered in quite large numbers.
Hey, look. Ain't that...
Those intruders the other day were quite entertaining. However, I can't allow that trash to ransack my castle. Strengthen the security, kill them on sight. I'll reward whoever brings me their heads.
Praise be to King Kamoshida! Death to the intruders!
Hey, Mona. Can't we just beat the crap out of him and call it a day?
Look at all those soldiers, idiot. It'd be suicide. And I'm sure you don't want a repeat of last time. Besides, don't you want him to confess his sins? There's no point beating him up. We need to steal his materialized desires. The treasure.
Fine, so where is it?
It has to be somewhere in the depths of this castle. Let's infiltrate further in while he's out here.
Yeah, so no getting through here. We can still hear a little bit of the speech by checking.
King Kamoshida! Death to the intruders!
And repeat that voice clip.
I think it's impossible.
But finally, we get to go through this door. Uh-oh.
Damn it.
I still love how Joker just does that wild arm flail. Yet more teaching. Let's go.
Remember how I taught you hold-ups and all-out attacks? I'll teach you their practical use now. There's another use for hold-ups, besides simply defeating enemies.
Yeah, you might have been wondering why the prompt for all-out attack was called a hold-up.
Shadows are beings born from people's hearts, so naturally they can talk, too. In other words, you can communicate with them. Get it?
Something that has not been done since Persona 1 and 2.
If you talk to them when they're cornered, they might offer money or items since they don't want to die. In fact, talking has a better chance of scoring something great, as opposed to just offing them.
But on the flip side, Morgana isn't explaining the flip side, you do get less experience for beating enemies this way. I'll go into that more later.
Well then, let's do the first step. Knock all the enemies down and do a hold-up.
Okay, so last time we were forced to use Curse to knock down this thing. However, here, we're going to be shown off something that I really wanted to show before. This game kinda operates on Fire Emblem logic, sometimes. If it has wings, try shooting it.
All knocked down! That was incredible, Joker!
Not all enemies with wings are weak to guns, but a lot of them are, so I would always recommend trying guns on anything flying.
For real?
Hey!
Well, something along those lines. Now let it be money or items. Just cough it up.
Only Ryuji's allowed to say that.
Sorry. Oh, wait, what? This isn't how I was planning this to go.
We tried to mug someone who's broke!
If that's the case, I guess it's time for you to go to hell.
For real?
Hey, again, stop stealing catchphrases!
Sorry, but we're in a hurry.
Come on!
I just can't resist saying this.
What the? What's going on?
Cool!
I mean, shadows and personas are the same thing after all, as Persona 4 established.
I am thou, thou art I!
What was that just now? What happened?
You just tried to give us a tutorial on robbing people, and instead Joker turned things around and learned how to recruit people to his cause.
For real?
There we go, now the right person is saying that. Yeah, not even Morgana expected that tutorial to go that way. Uh-oh. So yes, our protagonist has the ability to wield multiple personas, not just Arsene. Now that we have Pixie, we can use it in battle. Yeah, personas control your stats, basically everything, and also your weaknesses. Now the really cool thing is that personas typically have the same weaknesses that they did when they were shadows. I say typically because there are a few enemy shadows that cheat and have less weaknesses. I'll cover those when we get to them, they're pretty dumb. But basically, this means that we don't want to equip Pixie against anything that uses gun or curse attacks. So yeah, when you press when you access your persona menu with triangle in battle, you can use L1 and R1 to switch personas. So there are a few important caveats to this, namely this. You can only change personas once per turn. Now, the thing to remember though is, your persona switch is only locked in after you've actually used a skill from said persona. So let me show you what I mean by that.
Let's go.
So right now we're on Arsene. If we press R1, we can switch over to Pixie.
Pixie!
And here, these things are weak to Zio, as we knew from earlier. Now, at this point, we are allowed to freely go back to Arsene if we want to, and we're not actually fully locked in yet. And if we press circle to go back, we are still on Arsene.
Persona! Pixie!
But the moment that we use a skill from another persona,
Go down!
we are now locked into Pixie for the remainder of the turn.
Is that the shadow from earlier? Don't tell me. Did you take in the shadow's appearance and powers as a persona?
So even though we've got a one more here, I'm pressing L1 and nothing's happening. We are not allowed to switch to Arsene right now, because we can only do one persona switch per turn. So just remember that, so you don't get locked into something that the enemy can hit your weakness on.
You're mine.
Okay, so hold up. I believe there are actually multiple ways this is allowed to go. You are given some freedom in how you handle this, so you can choose to talk to any of the shadows during a hold up. Well, let's talk to this one. So we get three options when we talk to a shadow. Lend me your power, which is an attempt to recruit them as a persona. Show me the money, which gets, them to give you money. I want an item. If you choose either of these, they will just give you the money or item and then leave. You won't have to negotiate any further, but if you choose this option, you'll need to work a little bit harder for that. I'm going to be attempting this though, because I need more personas on my side.
Besides that,
So this thing is a gloomy type shadow. This is not officially explained in the tutorial until a bit later, but I'm going to go over it now just because it's a little easier to know this information right now. So we're going to be asked two questions here. Why aren't you at school is question 1. Now, for every negotiation, question 1 doesn't matter. at all. It's actually only question 2 that determines how the negotiation goes. At any time, you can also press the triangle button to just say screw this and just attack them, but I'm not going to be a jerk like that. So again, Gloomy Shadow. Gloomy Shadows prefer vague or ambiguous answers and dislike serious or playful answers. So in this case, this one right here would be considered a serious answer, this one would be considered a playful answer, and I think this one, out of the 3 options, is probably the one that qualifies as a vague answer. Okay, yes, I was right about that. Music notes mean they liked that response. So a shadow can either like, dislike, or hate a response. And if they hate it, then, well, actually, this only applies to the second question. We'll get to that in a moment. So here we go, question 2. So if you mess up question 1, don't worry, it's actually only question 2 that matters. The first is just practice. A lot more fun to go chasing after younger ladies. Okay. This is true, would most likely count as serious. You dirty old man's probably playful. And out of all of them, this is probably the vague answer? I'm assuming this is the vague answer. Out of all of them, this is the most likely to count as a vague answer. So I hope I'm right on this. Oh, no, okay, I guess it just, it was just neutral to that, okay. So, if they're neutral after the second question, they will just give you an item.
Not bad. Not great, but not bad.
Every shadow has multiple rarities of items they can give you, but I'll cover that later. And then they just leave. And what that means is all of them leave.
Holy... Does that mean you can wield multiple personas?
I was kind of trying to give a different tutorial to what the game is giving there, but I just wanted to explain this because, anybody who has played mainline Shin Megami Tensei will know that negotiation is, a major annoying thing. In Persona 5, negotiation is actually very simple. It follows very strict rules. It might not seem like that way at first, but it's nowhere near as random as it is in the mainline Shin Megami Tensei games. Or like Persona 1 and 2, apparently negotiation is pretty ridiculous in those games. I haven't played any of those yet, I really need to.
Hey, Mona, what was that about? What did Joker do?
Something I was mentioning with Mona's tutorial earlier was that if you negotiate with an enemy, only the negotiated enemy counts as defeated for the purposes of experience. That other Dirty Two-Horned Beast was gone. If I had gone with an all-out attack there, I would have got more experience in that battle. So just kind of remember that.
He sealed the enemy's appearance and powers into his mask and made it his new persona.
We will get more chances to recruit Dirty Two-Horned Beast later, don't worry. That's a weird sentence.
Is such a feat even possible? Even I've never seen anyone pull that off.
Well, clearly you haven't been to Iwatodai or Inaba.
Of course it is. Only one heart exists per person, so normally a person can only have one persona.
So the thing is, this actually kind of contradicts some lore from earlier games that imply that the other party members actually do have multiple personas. It's just that because you only view them through the protagonist's eyes, you only see the persona they have around you. That's, according to Carl Jung, how society actually operates, but in the universe of these games, only people with the wildcard ability are allowed to use multiple personas. In Persona 1 and 2, the entire party could equip multiple personas, but yeah, they went kind of backtrack away from that later.
Incredible! That ability will give us a huge advantage.
I'm talking about Persona 1 and 2 quite a lot here, and that's because Persona 5 actually draws more from 1 and 2 than it does from 3 or 4. They've brought back a lot of things, like for example, Curse is originally from Persona 1, and one of the other elements was originally from Persona 2. Guns were also a thing in Persona 1 and 2.
Alright, try to do that even more if the opportunity arises. You better help out too, Skull.
Yeah, if Skull knocks down everybody, you can still negotiate. It doesn't have to be Joker who does it.
Hell yeah! We'll hold every last one of them up.
So yeah, here we go. We can negotiate with shadows, and if we're successful, and we say lend me your power, yeah, we get them. But if you already have a persona, then recruiting a new copy will just give experience to the one you already have, which can be kind of useful. Because typically at the end of a battle, only the persona that you have equipped gains experience.
I like you even more now. I really do have something special after all.
Personas gain experience very, very slowly, and that's to encourage you to recruit and experiment with new ones rather than just stick with the ones you already have. Sadly for Arsene. So okay then, are we hurting? We're not really hurting much into, apart from SP, so let's keep going. Okay, we got a new hallway here.
Yeah.
And that way is blocked. So we'll have to come back here later. I remember this room.
Alright, a chest!
It's a
Joker,
treasure chest, but
it's a
first
treasure
we have a
chest!
whole bunch of enemies here, and I want to try and negotiate with some of them.
Show
I
me
would
your true
particularly
form.
like to recruit a gallows flower if possible, because I'm going to need one of those soon. Okay, you guys are alright too. I can recruit one of you if I need it. The thing is though, these things are magician arcana, and
This isn't it.
Use wind to hit its weak
okay, they're
point.
weak to wind, so Joker can't really do much here. I could just try and explode one of them with guns. Okay, there we go.
Alright.
Okay, let's knock him down with Morgana here. Or that thing will just immediately die. Please survive this. I want to recruit you. Okay, there we go, good. This is actually kind of funny. So, funny story, when I was first playing Royal, I played Merciless because I'd already played the vanilla game, and I was just kind of wanting to experience Merciless. I gave up on Merciless in this room, and the reason why was because the triple weakness damage meant that everything died before I could negotiate with it, which meant that I just couldn't get any new personas. And that was just, like, that just sucked. So, okay. You are also gloomy. Autograph or a self-hee-ho. I'm actually not sure which one of these would be considered vague. Because usually if something has a ... or a question mark after it, it's considered a vague answer. Okay, you did like that one. Okay then. Here we go, yes. This has a question mark, so this is likely considered a vague answer. I'm hoping. Okay, there you go, music notes. That means that we were successful. Oh, he didn't say thou, I am thou, thou art I, ho. They do say that sometimes, it's kind of funny.
You've got a new map.
Yeah, the different types of shadows, and this doesn't relate at all to their person. Oh yeah, by the way, the profile that I'm using for this is named after a character from Strikers. But anyway, it doesn't relate to their personality. It actually relates to like what kind of thing they are. But these things have the Jack voice type, so they say hee-ho all the time. Ah, okay, I knew we'd have another chance to go for you later. Let's Zeo you in the face.
There.
We're all knocked down.
Serves you right.
Hey, you, yeah, you. Whatever Kamoshida's paying you, I'll pay double.
Yeah, fine. Give me a break.
It's not like that. I got bad luck. Shut up. Yeah, probably not shut up. I'm assuming that that's maybe straightforward. I got bad luck. Or maybe this is vague.
Hey,
Okay, yeah, that did count as vague, yeah. Again, first question is just practice. What's wrong with the way you look? You tempt people, you're ugly, nothing's wrong. Okay, so some answers are considered kind, and gloomy shadows I think are neutral to kind answers. Kind is what you want to use on timid shadows. I don't know, I kind of feel like either one of these could be, it can, I'm kind of getting some of the a little bit harder to figure out ones. Like, either of these could potentially be considered a joking answer, but... honestly, I kind of want to choose this.
hey,
Yeah, I had a feeling I was right there.
hey.
So, I can stop calling this thing Dirty Two-Horned Beast, because it is actually Bicorn. Kind of the evil counterpart to unicorns.
Your powers
Now,
incredible, Joker.
I'm obviously gonna try to recruit every shadow that I run into. You obviously can't if you don't have any space in your persona stock,
I leveled up.
but we've got plenty of space right now. I'm a little annoyed though that I haven't seen a gallows flower yet, because I actually don't need a bicorn for a long time, and I really need a gallows flower. I also don't need a pyrojack, or should I say jack-o'-lantern. In fact, yeah, let me just actually mention this. So, this thing is called Jack-O-Lantern now, not Pyrojack. The only reason it was called Pyrojack in former SMT and Persona games is character limitations. In Japanese, I believe it was always called Jack-O-Lantern. Where are you?
Show me your true form.
Okay, there we go. Please be Gallows Flowers. Come on, Gallows Flowers, I need you. Ah, dang it, more of you. Well, this means that you're probably gonna have to go to hell, because, I would rather get experience for the whole party than just for my bike horn.
Looking cool, Joker.
Do it.
Okay, guys.
Okay, they actually survived. I'm kinda glad they did that, because this means I might get a chance to show off Ryuji's finisher, unless he just KOs them both anyway. So, okay, something I haven't shown yet is you press the down button on the D-pad, you find out whose turn is next. Also, you can guard. I'm doing this mostly just to pass my turn. I feel like these things will probably just die, though. Yeah. In that case, I'll just hit him. Now we'll get plenty of time to show Ryuji's finisher later. Okay, Plant Bomb.
Alright.
A little bit of money. I would very much appreciate getting a Gallows Flower, but, we can easily pick them up later.
Oh.
So I don't know if this is actually new to Royal or if this was if this is in the original, but if you pick up a weapon from a chest and it's better than what you currently have, you have the choice to automatically equip it, which is honestly pretty cool. Of course, I want to figure out what this thing actually is first. It's just a better version of the old one. Also, yeah, look at that description. A weapon manifested from awakened power. So Joker didn't just happen to walk into school with a knife on him or anything when he went to the palace. The starting weapons of every character actually manifest at the same time their personas and outfits do, which is kind of cool. So we've got another safe room here.
Hey, look.
And once we get into a safe room, this happens.
This is that place from earlier. What's up with this app?
Oh no, you got the malware too.
Just said the word Sakamoto said, and I ended up...
Princess?
Huh?
Princess!
And this is why we should have taken her with us.
Aren't there even more shadows here than before? Just getting this far has been a real pain in my ass.
It's all because you guys provoked Kamoshida, you know.
The security level's actually lower than it was when we first started.
Still, he seems to be awfully on guard.
But I guess this is all because we confronted him in the real world, which naturally would affect his mind.
Anyways, how are we supposed to steal that treasure thing?
It's interesting though, is it kind of implies that despite him acting all tough, being like, oh, I'm gonna just get you all expelled, I'm untouchable, I don't need to worry about you. The fact that his palace has stepped up security, that would imply that he's actually scared.
Don't be so hasty. First, we'll need to secure an infiltration route.
What?
A path to the treasure's location. But honestly, I think we'll need a little more manpower in order to accomplish this.
Gee, I wonder if there wasn't a perfectly suitable recruit right in front of us when we infiltrated here.
At the very least, one more person would be nice.
Yes, one more person. If we hadn't just rudely rejected their offer to join us, maybe we actually would be in a good position right now.
Hey, you say you don't have your memories and all, but somehow you still know about that kind of stuff? Do you think this thing's really got amnesia?
That's what you think of me?
You sure talk big, but what if it turns out you're just some stray cat in the end?
That can't be.
Still, why was a princess in such an odd place?
Princess?
I could have sworn we were pursuing the readings of an intruder.
It doesn't matter now. We must take it back to King Kamoshida.
Who's this princess they're talking about?
I should probably look into this.
And yet another question goes unanswered. Stuff like the castle and that navigation app are mysterious, but Morgana's got them both beat. Oh, crap, sorry. What was I again? Oh, yeah, Skull.
This is bad.
That was fast.
Your friend, Lady An. She's been taken by shadows!
Wait, what? We sent her home earlier.
If Lady An does indeed have the app, it could be possible.
Oh no. Don't tell me it got put on hers just like mine.
That was really fast, too.
Damn it. We let her out for her own safety and she just came back in by herself.
And that is why, again, we should have let her come with us.
Damn it.
Well, it's still a good idea to take
I'll
the
just
time
have
to
this.
save in here, especially if you picked up some personas via negotiation. Negotiation isn't fixed at this point, so, like, it's possible you couldn't have got all of these. In fact, I think even the enemy encounters are a little random at this point. I probably could have got a Gallows Flower. In fact, it's the only thing I strictly need right now. I also technically need Chariot, but we can't get that right now anyway. So I'm so sorry, Bicorn, but you're not actually... Oh, Taruunda's not bad. Oh, and Rakunda is fantastic. So yeah, definitely good to pick up Jack-o'-lantern. So,
Yes!
at this point, I want to mention something.
Okay, let's go.
So, in the original game, I actually uploaded a video called Persona 5 Early Game Grinding Trick early in the days of its release, where I went back and forth out of this safe room to respawn the enemies in the next room. I've tried doing this in Royal, and it seems as though it doesn't happen like that in Royal.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, hang on a minute. I just saved and reloaded, and now they've respawned. Okay, that's what you do. You don't go back and forth. You save and reload. Okay, then. Now, there's a distinct possibility I may be able to get...
Filming? Who's in charge here?
Arn's voice, but no. Able to get a Gallows Flower here. Okay, couldn't get an ambush there because I wasn't directly behind it.
What's the map? That was
Losers.
incredible, Skull.
Okay, already Morgana learns Patra to cure status. Of course, the real prize is Medea to, heal the party. That's not till level 11, though. We are getting
Man, that was
close to that
easy.
0 security. Could you turn around, please? Thank you.
Show me your true form.
The ambush window is a little bit, like, further back from the actual enemy, and, still no Gallows Flowers.
The first move is ours.
In fact, something you might notice, we're getting a different battle theme here. This is called Take Over. This is a new Royal song that plays during ambushes, while Last Surprise, the original battle theme, plays during standard battles. And I'm going to give probably one of my biggest hot takes of this playthrough. I vastly prefer Take Over to Last Surprise. I said it. Takeover just sounds like so much more of a Phantom Thief song. Like, Last Surprise is not a bad song, but it's just, in my opinion, I'll just say, I don't think it works as a battle theme. I think it works better as like a cutscene theme than it does as a battle theme. And right then, that's an issue because that thing just despawned. Oh no, it didn't despawn, it's back, okay. I'm just gonna, it's probably not Gallows Flowers, but I guess there's only one way to find out.
Reveal your true form.
It is! Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, that's good. For now, I'm just going to make sure that I can negotiate with them. Because I'm going to need Jack-o'-lantern for this one, because, well, this is a bit of a spoiler, but they are weak to fire. I was hinting at that last time, because I said, oh hey, they're flowers. I wonder, if they're weak to fire, but we don't have that yet. Well, we do now.
Looking cool, Joker.
Okay, you are upbeat. Upbeat shadows like playful answers, and let me check my notes quickly. Yeah, they dislike serious or vague answers. You don't have to get a Gallows Flower now, but it does help soon. Ah, okay. That's right, it won't, or it's for self-improvement. This is probably a vague answer, But which one of these would be considered playful? Maybe this one? Yes, it was considered playful.
What'd you think?
If it pleases you, no strings attached, I've got enough on my plate. Yeah, this one is probably considered vague. This one might be considered kind. Maybe this is... No, maybe this is vague. Yeah, this can be tricky sometimes. I'm gonna try this. Hey, that worked good. So, yeah, we have one of these now. And now, like, I actually really like this. So, you basically get the persona's true names for negotiating with them. So from now on, they will not be called gallows flowers, they will be called mandrakes. You probably could have seen them coming if you know your mythology.
You've got a new mask.
These things thankfully can't scream and instantly kill us. But, okay, that is actually excellent. Because Mandrake is at the Death Arcana, an arcana that we will be needing very soon. And now that I have that, I'm going to head back and save. I'm honestly not proud of that video in hindsight, and it actually does have a pretty large amount of dislikes, and I can't really say I disagree with that.
This way.
Yeah, I actually did upload videos of the original game right when it released.
Look, I'll apologize for touching the armor without permission.
She totally doesn't get what's going on.
Let's hurry. We have to save her.
Yeah, touching is one thing, but she completely annihilated that armor.
Now then.
Okay, before you move in, probably best to make sure your persona is set. Okay, Jack-o'-lantern is decent for it, element-wise, but also it's weak to this thing's element. Whereas, do I have anything here that's resistant to wind? No, I don't. Well, that's a problem. I'm gonna, in that case, lead with Bike Horn.
Now then. Yes!
What's all this about? Seriously, I'm gonna call the cops!
That portrait behind you is horrifying.
So, this is the intruder.
Kamoshida? Who's that? More importantly, what is this place? Why is the school turned into something like this?
I can't believe you mistook my An for someone like her. Are you afraid?
What is that outfit? Have you lost your mind?
I do as I please here. After all, this is my castle. The world of my desires.
What the? Wait, is this some red light district?
What a lively slave.
This isn't funny! Enough of the bullshit, Kamoshida!
Shit. The girls decided to tell me off. What do you think of that?
Talking back is like totally unforgivable.
In that case, she should be executed. Now then, how should I play with you? Shall I tear you into little pieces?
Are you kidding me?
This is effed up. Is that what he thinks of the girls on the volleyball team?
Hey, that's...
Takamaki!
Just when I was about to start enjoying myself.
What's the deal with this guy?
You little...
How many times are you gonna come back?
As much as it takes to dethrone you.
I bet you just like those thieves. You came because you're pissed at me, huh? But, I forget that chick's name. But it's your fault she jumped, you know.
Huh?
You were so reluctant to throw yourself onto me that I had her take your place.
You bastard!
No!
Take one more step and I'll kill her on the spot.
Damn it!
Just sit back and enjoy the dismantlement show.
No, don't!
Maybe I'll start with her clothes.
You're such a perv!
Hey, what are we gonna do? Takamaki!
Is this my punishment for what happened to Shio?
That's more like it. You should have looked like this from the start.
Shio, I'm so sorry. Huh?
You know, Kamoshida, you think you would have learned by now. This is going to be the 3rd time you've pushed someone to this point. And you know what happened the first 2 times, don't you?
You're right. Letting this piece of shit toy with me? What was I thinking?
It's like I always say, slaves should just behave and...
Shut up! I've had enough of this. You pissed me off, you son of a bitch!
My, it's taken far too long. Tell me, who is going to avenge her if you don't? Forgiving him was never the option. Such is the scream of the other you that dwells within. I am thou, thou art I. We can finally forge a contract.
I hear you, Carmen. You're right! No more holding back!
There you go. Nothing can be solved by restraining yourself. Understand? Then I'll gladly lend you my strength.
You know what? I'm not some cheap girl you can toy with, you scumbag.
Bitch!
You stole everything from Shiko. You destroyed her. Now it's your turn. I will rob you of everything!
How dare you! Enough of your insolence!
No, I've had enough of you. No one's gonna stop me now. Let's go, Carmen!
I love that pose just before this fight.
How dare you deny King Kamoshida's love, you selfish lass! Pay for this insolence with your life!
That dirtbag just sees women as sexual outlets. Don't make me laugh with that love bullshit. Come on, Carmen. Let's give him hell.
You said it, Arn.
You did it! They've fallen flat!
So, important thing to note is that even though we have the option,
That won't work right now.
you can't negotiate with mini-bosses. Thankfully, this doesn't cost you your turn. I'm gonna break formation instead of all-out attacking here, because it's actually stronger in this fight to do this instead. So this thing has wind attacks. So for now, I'm gonna just hit it with Bithorn. Resist physical though, and it does resist Morgana's element, but Morgana also resists its attacks. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and have Ryuji guard. Because yeah, it will always use Magaru first,
Nice one. They can't land a hit.
and if it gets a knockdown, it'll get a 1 more and then it'll heal itself. Okay, I suppose I can do... So here's the thing, I would really like to finish this with Arn's all-out attack, because that would be really cool, but I don't know if I'll be able to actually do that this turn.
You did it! They've fallen
Okay, not quite. In that case, one more fire is probably gonna finish it off. Though, since, see, I'm gonna guard just in case. It can also heal itself. Okay, just regular Garu. I was hoping that you'd heal, because then I might be able to actually show off Arn finishing this with an all-out attack. But yeah, just died.
To think there would be a woman who could stand up to King Kamoshida.
Outside of school, that guy's nothing but a pathetic loser.
We'll see hers another day. Oh, sorry, wrong Carmen. That's better. Just as Ryuji is the main physical heavy hitter of the Phantom Thieves, Arn is the magical heavy hitter. She specializes in fire magic, and even though she learns some healing, those who played Persona 4 should realize that she is not Yukiko in terms of party role. Arn is a fighter and a debilitator, not a healer. She has the highest natural magic stat of the party, and is also the only one to naturally learn Concentrate, the magical counterpart to Charge. She is also, topping off the list of uniques, the only party member to get a multi-target severe tier elemental spell. That combined with boost and amp means her magic damage is pretty much unparalleled in the party. All fire spells have a chance of inflicting the burn status, which damages enemies every turn and opens them up to technical damage from wind skills. This, unfortunately, means that Arn and Morgana work well together. Arn's other asset, and in Royal it's a really big one, is her sleep spells. Ailment infliction chances are high in Royal, and Arn has a high luck stat to make them even more likely. But sleep opens the enemy up to technical damage from everything. And when we start unlocking more buffs to technical damage later, that's gonna make Arn an incredibly good party member. She gets Dormina for single target sleep and Lullaby for hitting the entire party at lower chances. I personally prefer Dormina because I like the high success rate, and usually I only need one enemy asleep to pull off good technical combos. But Dormina can be good too, it's all a matter of preference. She has ambient aid to raise her ailment odds even higher, but it only works during weather conditions, which only happen at certain times during the year. I personally find these skills way too situational to bother with, but there's no harm in keeping it until Arn learns better things. Fitting for someone who's more magically offense inclined, Arn learns her elemental break skill much earlier than the rest of the party does. Now, I haven't actually mentioned this yet, but the break skills have been buffed in Persona 5. They now hit all enemies instead of one. I still personally feel that if you're up against something that's immune to fire, it's best to just use somebody besides Arn. But since she's more reliant on fire for damage, I guess Fire Break can be helpful. She also has Dekaja to cancel enemy buffs, and Taruunda to debuff the enemy's attack. Arn's main weaknesses, besides, well, ice, are being a little fragile, very reliant on SP to do damage, and not having a party buff skill. That can actually be a big problem later on. But as long as the enemy is not immune to fire, Arn is a great asset in terms of damage, and even if they are, sleep is also fantastic. Arn's trait is Mastery of Magic, which gives her a roughly 20% chance of lowering the SP cost for anyone in the party using a skill, and that includes herself. This would be fantastic if it was usable during Kamoshida's palace, and it doesn't unlock until the second palace. By that time, SP management is nowhere near as much of a problem as it is at the beginning, so I don't find this trait to be that great, even though it is nice when it activates. Much to my and maybe other people's annoyance, Arn's persona is not Carmen Sandiego. It's Carmen, the character from the French novel, later much more famously an opera, of the same name. The novel is from 1845, and the opera premiered in 1875. The Carmen here mostly takes after the opera, which actually didn't open to very good reviews or reception when it debuted in France, but gained better recognition when it was released outside France. Two of its most iconic songs are the Toreador song from Act 2 and the Habanera from Act 1, which is the song that I'm playing now. I'll bet many of you listening to this have heard this song at some point in your lives, though you may not have known it came from Carmen. In context, it's the first song that Carmen herself sings. She's a Romani woman who works at a cigarette factory, who gains the attentions of Don Jose, who, despite already being engaged, becomes obsessed with her. She reciprocates his feelings at first, but eventually leaves him for a bullfighter, causing Don Jose to become increasingly jealous and possessive, culminating in him murdering her. Carmen was a very unconventional heroine for an opera at the time, and in contrast to the original novel, gets a surprisingly sympathetic treatment in the end, despite seeming like a femme fatale at first. She's commonly seen as a symbol of freedom, somebody who would rather die than be untrue to herself.
Oh shit.
Okay, yeah, I almost forgot about that. This is just one of my favorite moments in the whole game, just his reaction to what just happened there, just being that. And they're just running.
Wait!
Why'd you come here, man? And more importantly, how?
Hey, she just helped you destroy that mini-boss.
Hey, is that how you speak to a woman? Are you alright, Lady On?
That also isn't how you speak to one.
Lady On? Wait, what is this thing? Is it alive? How can it talk? And where in the world are we?
Just calm down. Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry.
How am I supposed to calm down? Huh? Why am I dressed like this? When did I... what's with this?
Oh, this is gonna be a huge amount of explaining, isn't it?
How can you expect me to be calm?
Yeah, true, I'm pretty sure no one would be calm in a place like this. I just noticed there are like ram horn emblems on the walls here.
Well, I'm stumped. A search party will be coming for us soon. There's no time to explain. We don't have a choice. Let's retreat for now.
We were just getting fired up and you had to go and get in the way. Fine.
Just gotta go.
Here, give me your arm. You take the other side.